Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, you guys. My name is Raven. I am the founder of Rich Disciples Academy, and I am so excited to be here today on this live, on this YouTube, sharing some things. I should have got my mic, child, and all of that stuff together before I got on here. But I was so busy trying to make sure that I had my camera set up together that I didn't even think about getting my mic situation going. So we're going to plug the microphone in so that we can make sure our sound is good. We want to make sure that everything is pretty crispy. I want to make sure that you guys do not miss anything because I have some things to share with you guys today. In this video, I am going to be talking about the one thing that I am doing. Yes, it is just one thing. This is not a live stream where I'm sharing with you 30 and 40 different strategies. I am simplifying this for you guys. Is it anybody that likes simple? I like simple. I don't like something that's like a bunch of steps. I don't like something that's all technical and I got to figure this out. Like, I like things to be simple. I like things to be lean. And so, literally, in this video, I am going to be sharing with you guys the one thing that I am doing to see my business revenue increase significantly within 100 days. Now, let me tell you guys why this is so exciting to me. This is so exciting to me because I am not just doing this for one of my businesses. I am actually going to be doing this for multiple businesses. So it's when I get into it, like it'll like make more sense. Why that's something that I'm having to like really rely on God for and trust Him for. But I'm excited. I personally believe, and if you are not new to this channel, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. But if you are not new to the Rich with Raven YouTube channel, then you know that one of the things that I talk about often is how I want to see more Christian entrepreneurs be successful. I want to see more Christian entrepreneurs generating well into the six figures, well into the seven figures, well into the eight figures. I want to do that. And that's another reason why I'm super excited to get into sharing this strategy today, because I honestly believe that the lack of this strategy, like I think that not utilizing this strategy and not using it consistently, because some of you guys probably are using it but you're not using it consistently, you're not using it properly. I think that that's one of the biggest things that is holding us back financially in the body of Christ when it comes to entrepreneurship, because we are wanting to do what feels comfortable instead of doing what works. We are wanting to do what worked 5 years ago, but we're not wanting to pivot into the thing that's working today. And, it's pride. It's pride that wants to keep you in your comfort zone. It's pride that wants you still doing this one thing, even though it's not necessarily something that is working out. So, we are going to cover this today. So, welcome, you guys, for those of y'all that are just joining me again. I am Raven, founder of Rich Disciples Academy, and I am super excited to just lock in with you guys and share this one strategy that I am going to be implementing to see a significant shift in my profits within the next 100 days. So I know now we have a few people that joined us. So meet me in the comments really quickly. Comment below if you want to see an increase within your profits in the next 100 days. Comment below if you want to see an increase within your profits within the next 100 days. You can just put an emoji. You don't even got to put anything super long, but comment below something. Show me something if you are wanting to see a significant increase in your profits within the next 100 days. I am excited for y'all because I feel like y'all get in the comments and commenting something, this is my opportunity to come into agreement with you guys that the Lord can do it. I am telling y'all this as somebody that has been in business for over 17 years. I have seen God blow my mind so many times. Like, I have seen people say, like, oh, if you do that, that's going to take a long time and that's going to do this. And I have literally seen what other people say is going to take such a long time. I have seen my Father do it quickly. And so I don't believe that there is any difference for you. I believe that if God can do it quickly for me, I think that he can do it for you as well. Also, when I get into the strategy, for those of you guys that have been here for a little while, you're going to see that this is something that the Lord has been placing on my heart to speak to you guys about really for the last month. You know, this is not something that is new. So are y'all ready to get into it? Before we get into it, we're going to just pray really quickly, and then I'm going to get moving with everything that I want to share with you guys on today. Father God, we come to you right now, Lord, in Jesus' name, and we just ask that you would just bless our time together, God. I just ask that you would place it on the hearts of your children to just be open and vulnerable to ask any questions that they might have about their business, to get any clarification on things that they might feel like is holding them back. And Father, most importantly, I ask that they would be receiving of the steps that you have ordered. I ask that pride would go out the window. God, I ask that we would no longer find comfort in our comfort zone, but that our comfort would be in you, that our trust would be in you. We thank you that you are all knowing, God. Even if it seems like I don't know about this strategy, I am not sure, God, we thank you that you have gone before us and you never are wrong. You never make any mistakes, Lord. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen. All righty, you guys. So some of you have probably already guessed it because I done dropped little hints and I've shared with you guys that we've been talking about this on the channel really for the past month. But the one strategy that I am utilizing to see a significant increase in my profit within the next 100 days is I am getting on YouTube every single day. You heard me. I did not make a mistake in what I said. I was not tongue tied. I did not say the wrong thing. You heard me correctly. I am getting on YouTube every single day for 100 days. You all are subscribers, so you're going to be able to literally follow the journey. You're going to be able to see the channel grow. I am going to be coming on the channel throughout the 100 days and just sharing the updates, just sharing how things are going. I know that right now there is a lot of talk in the marketplace. There's a lot of talk about, oh, businesses are shutting down and what's going on with this and what's going on with that and what's happening there, and consumer spending is down, and oh my goodness, you know, it's a recession and it's the economy, and people are saying all of these things. But can I just be real with y'all? Can I be real with y'all and let y'all know that a lot of people are seeing their sales slow down because there is not enough eyes on your offer? A lot of people are seeing their sales slowing down because people are still here in 2026 trying to hold on to strategies that worked in 2020. Like, if I hear another person complain about Instagram, baby, if y'all don't just post y'all little cute pictures on Instagram, post a reel every now and then and keep it moving, 2020 Instagram is never coming back. And I know that people want you to think, oh, it's just your content. If you would just improve your content, it's not that. With these social media apps, what ends up happening is once they get to a point where they have grown astronomically, it becomes a thing, especially if you are a business owner. It becomes a thing where if you are not paying to play, you ain't going to get to play. So it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 followers. It doesn't matter if you have 200,000 followers. Everybody on Instagram, most people, their engagement is not what it was back in 2020. Their engagement is not what it was back in 2022. And so we want to be utilizing the platforms that are going to be working for us. We want to be utilizing the platforms that are going to help us to work smarter and not harder. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to deal with having to try to keep up with every single Instagram algorithm trend that they have going on. I don't want to deal with having to change this up because now they're saying that this works. Now they're saying that. I don't want to deal with that. I just want it to be simple. I talked about this when we first got on here. Like, I just want it to be simple. So we are getting on YouTube for various reasons. The most important reason being that the Lord is calling us to YouTube. I did an entire 2-part video about that, about the Lord calling on more Christians to create. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to drop it in the comments below. Please make sure that you watch that because that is going to help you understand the importance of this assignment. But the Lord is indeed calling more Christians to create. And this is not just a word for those of us that are in business, but this is a word for those of us that are in ministry as well. Because if God is calling you to create for your business, He's going to bless you by way of your income. But when God is calling you to create by way of your ministry, He is trying to do something basically impactful, in your ministry. And so it is very important that we show up. It is very important that we answer God's call to create, and we're doing it in the right places and not just where we feel comfortable. So here's the thing about YouTube. YouTube is very much a top search engine. Still, YouTube is literally owned by Google, okay? And I know that some of you guys are going to argue me down. I know that some of you guys are going to be like, but girl, I go on TikTok for all my search. Y'all be loving to argue with me about TikTok. And the crazy part about it is that I don't really have no beef with TikTok. I never did. Baby, I be on TikTok too. I literally just posted a video to TikTok earlier today. So I don't have any beef with TikTok. But here is the thing. You have to think about it from the perspective of when you are Googled, where are you coming up? There are still people that are very much using Google, especially depending on who your target market is. When I go to Google and I Google myself, because YouTube is owned by Google, guess what's coming up? My YouTube videos are coming up. Even though I have videos on TikTok, even though I have videos on Instagram, those are not the videos that's coming up in abundance. So when somebody is Googling you, or when somebody is Googling something of interest that basically, like let's say if you are somebody that sells workout gear, like let's just say that you sell women's workout gear and somebody is Googling where to buy workout gear. You want your stuff to be on a platform where it's going to come up on Google. It's not just going to come up on TikTok. Now, I'm not shading TikTok, but I believe that you guys should be creating content for YouTube and you should be repurposing it and you should be putting it over on TikTok. Sometimes I do it the opposite way. Sometimes I create content on TikTok and then basically I bring it over here to YouTube and I save it there. But you are literally playing yourself if all of your videos are only on TikTok and you're not putting anything on YouTube where it's the top search engine. Another thing, and again, please understand, y'all, that I'm not trying to throw any type of shade towards TikTok. But another thing that we got to consider is TikTok is constantly changing. 1 minute they banned, the next minute they not banned, another minute they are basically changing up, ownership. They have these new privacy policies. They're doing we just don't know how that is going to change within the next, even 6 months. So I'm not saying that it's potentially not going to be around, but I feel like you want to build on a platform that is sustainable. I'm gonna give y'all a quick example. Those of y'all that know me and know about all of my businesses, you know that I also have a wealth firm. And so when we're helping our clients navigate what to pick in terms of investments, one of the things that I'm teaching them to do is look for investments that are indeed stable. Don't just invest in something because you see everybody on social media saying that they're investing in this. Look at the financial data and see if it is actually a company that is stable. And I just think that everything that TikTok has gone through, even just within the last year, it has shown a little bit of instability. So imagine dedicating every single thing to this app, and then all of a sudden it just changes astronomically, and now you don't have it anymore. I tell people all the time that social media is not ownership. You cannot look at social media like it is ownership, but realistically, when we look at the platform that has been sustainable, it's been around for a long period of time. When we look at the platform that has been paying people the most money, when we look at the platform that the algorithm has been working for us and not against us, we are finding that on YouTube. YouTube's track record is not lying. Another reason why we need to be making sure that we are creating content specifically for YouTube and we're doing it consistently is because what I have seen is that most Christian entrepreneurs, they are wanting to work with other Christians. They are marketing their services to Christian companies. They're marketing their services to other Christian entrepreneurs. Like, they are wanting to work with other Christians. And so because of that, you have to consider the mindset, the buyer mindset of the person that you're marketing your services to. And one thing that I for sure know about Christian entrepreneurs, because I am one myself, and even outside of, entrepreneurship, even when I'm looking for something to support, and it's not about like small business or anything like that, but one thing that I know about Christians is that we look for depth. The Bible literally tells us you will know them by their fruit, okay? And so a lot of us, we don't even have any fruit online for people to see. All we have is a link in our bio on Instagram. Hey, click the link here, go and purchase the products, go and do this. That's literally all that we have, but there is no type of depth. There is no assets online where somebody can go and they can look at your YouTube channel, they can engage with you, they can build trust with you. And I know that people are like, my mic is not working, so I'm just going to take this off. But anyway, I know that people like to, kind of come out of their mouth and say things like, oh, well, that's old strategy. Nobody cares about building and liking you and building trust and all these things. But that's something that very much still does matter. And it matters more so now than it has in the last 5 years, because you do have people that have experienced challenges in their finances. You do have more people that have been laid off. And so people are going about their decision making financially in a different way. Even if you have a product that's only $20, people are still navigating. Like, their buyer behavior looks a lot different than it did 5 and 6 years ago when stimulus checks were being pumped into the market back to back. People are making those decisions differently. And so you want to make sure that when somebody is considering making a decision, you want to make sure that your assets are readily available. And when I say that your assets are readily available, I'm talking about when somebody Googles you, they can find you credible. When somebody Googles you, they can see you as an expert. When somebody Googles you, they can see a little bit of your fruit. Like, these are all of the things that are important. These are all the things that people care about. And I know that sometimes I think that people make the mistake of looking at YouTube and feeling like, oh, well, YouTube is just for people who are consultants, or, YouTube is just for people who are coaches, or, people who are in like the information industry. I am telling y'all that YouTube is for everybody. I have seen content on here that is like, you be on one side of YouTube and it's apples, then you be on the other side of YouTube and it's oranges. I will never forget, I saw this lady's page. I probably should have subscribed because it was actually like really intriguing. But this lady is like 108 years old. And she's literally posting content and she's saying, here's what I eat in a day to live past 100. Now, for somebody that's in their 30s, that's not necessarily the content that I'm interested in engaging with right now. I mean, I would love to live to 100. God, hear me and hear me good. I would love to live, until I'm 100, but in my 30s, that's just not something that I'm thinking about. But guess what? There's a side of YouTube where people are looking for that type of content. And here is the thing about YouTube. If you don't get out there and you don't start posting content consistently, you will never know what works for your audience. You will never know what's the content that they're going to engage with. You will never know what is the content that is going to call them to convert. You have to actually create the content, share it on YouTube, and you have to be consistent so that you do indeed know what is going to work. You will not know what is going to work if you do not try anything and if you don't do it consistently. And that's why 100 days is important, because I think too often, especially like in the Christian entrepreneurship marketplace, I think because we know that God is a good God, I think that because we know that, God is sovereign and we know that he's wonderful and all of these things, I think that sometimes we get caught up in a place mentally that if it doesn't happen quickly, then maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. If it doesn't happen quickly, then maybe this is something that maybe I should pivot. Maybe I should do something more different. But we're not actually giving things the time to work. We are not giving the strategy a second to work. We are literally just out here trying something for 5 minutes and then wondering why it has not worked. I cannot tell y'all how many times, if I consider my journey as a buyer, and I know that you guys probably have this same experience with things that you've purchased and, people whose businesses you've patronized and all that stuff, but I don't even have enough fingers for real to tell you guys how many times I have came across somebody by way of YouTube and I've started watching their content little by little. All of a sudden, because I'm watching their content little by little, guess what YouTube is doing? YouTube starts to show me their content more. The more I get on YouTube, they're like, hey, you want to see this person? You want to see what she said on there today? You want to see what this page? Because I've been engaging with the content. So YouTube's algorithm is literally working for that person that's creating the content. So now I'm engaging more and more. And if your YouTube content strategy is really good, where you have a really good hook and you keep mentioning something, because that's another thing that I'm doing within my 100 days is I'm focusing on one offer. People get so caught up and they're on YouTube and they're trying to sell 1,000,001 things. Let's focus on one core offer that you are going to be selling. So if I'm binging somebody's YouTube channel constantly and I hear that you keep mentioning something, like let's say like they keep mentioning something that they have, like a product that they have for like content creators. I'm always looking for ways to make my content better. I'm always looking for ways to create content in a way that is more simplified. So if somebody keeps mentioning like, I got this little thing that you can put on your camera, I got this little thing that can help you, excuse me, I have this little thing that can help you plan out your content in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours. Eventually, if I keep hearing that in my mind, it keeps sticking with me. So now I'm like, I'm thinking about this. Can I actually use this? Can this help me? And now all of a sudden, I've purchased, this lower ticket item from somebody that they've kept mentioning on their YouTube channel. But now because I'm in their funnel, now I'm getting emails from them. So now I'm getting to know them more. They're building with me even more. I'm trusting them even more. The first thing that I purchased from you, that works out. So guess what? Now they're pitching me, they're upselling me into something greater. And now I'm purchasing that. Y'all, I cannot tell you how many people I started on their YouTube. Then I purchased a book, or I purchased like a mini class or something. Then I went to the conference. Then I enrolled in the course. Then I enrolled in the mastermind. Or I can't tell you how many people I went on their YouTube and I saw the video, the beauty tips, and I'm seeing you say, I have the link below to this concealer. I got the link below to this lip gloss. And I may not purchase it right then and there on that first YouTube video. But now that I've watched 3 or 4 videos, I'm like, let me sis be knowing what she be doing with these makeup tutorials. Let me go in here and let me purchase with her link the concealer that she is using. So it's that trust and it's that authority. And that's not something that you're going to get when somebody goes to your YouTube page and they're seeing 2 and 3 videos. You have to be consistent. The person who has the most assets on YouTube, that is the person that is deemed more trustworthy. I know people don't like to hear that, but realistically, If you and somebody else do the exact same thing, and I go to their page and they got 150 videos that I can binge and I can keep consuming, and the videos are getting better and better, and I'm building up more and more trust with them. But I go on your page and you have 5 videos and your last video is from 6 months ago. I'm going to start questioning you. Now, I'm not questioning if you're good at what you do, but I'm questioning, do you even still do it? I'm questioning, do you even still have the passion for this? Because you haven't even been on here in 6 months. And I can tell you from building up one YouTube channel so far. Now, this one I would definitely say is still, in the building phase. We're still testing, we're still seeing, what works and all of that stuff. I'm 50 videos in, and I have right now a little bit under 300 subscribers. And I just got my first YouTube video that went past 500 likes. So I'm 50 videos in, not being consistent. Let me put that out there. I wasn't consistent before, but I'm 50 videos in and I'm just starting to see, oh, this is what works. This is what's getting more subscribers to come. This is what's getting more engagement. You're not getting that in most cases after just 5 or 6 videos. That's not enough to test. That's not enough a lot of times to convert people at a large scale. Can God do that? Absolutely. But you got to understand that in order to work this, you have to be consistent. And another thing too, when it comes to content creation on YouTube, people build trust a lot faster from video content than they do with posts where you're just like behind the scenes. They don't really know what's going on. And especially going back to what I said earlier, especially when you are a Christian entrepreneur and you're making products targeted towards Christians, or you have services that are targeted towards other Christian entrepreneurs, they are looking for the fruits. Okay. They are looking for the fruits of what it is that you are doing. Who is this person behind the scenes? And I know that right now it's a lot of talk on the internet where people are like, oh, you're going to be left behind if you're the face of your business because AI and, blah, blah, blah. But I beg to differ. I'm not saying that things can't change dramatically, within the next couple of years. But I personally believe that because of the rise of AI, I think that that's all the more reason why you have people craving to know who is the person behind this business. Are they real? Can I get to know a little bit more about them? Can I get to see them? I think that in the age of AI, like, people want to support more founder-led brands than ever. That's what I think, because so often you have these brands and you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, especially when we've seen recently, y'all know what's been going on social media, where you got people out here trying to front like they're a black owned business and they're really not. So I think that the face of a brand, I think that the face of a platform, I think that the face of a mission, I think that that is still something that is extremely valuable. I think that that's still something that is extremely important. And here's the thing as well. We are called to stewardship as Christians, period. And I think that far too often the conversation around stewardship, it only touches on money for a lot of people. But stewardship goes even beyond money. Stewardship is also, am I taking care of the people that God has released to me? And one of the things that I hear just so often amongst other Christian entrepreneurs is, oh, Lord, can you enlarge my territory and increase it, and all these, like, we want God to just increase stuff and we want our territory enlarged and, just all of those things. But have you actually stewarded the flock that God has already given you? Are you actually nurturing and taking care of the flock that God has already given you? Or are you over here praying for more and you're not even taking care of what you already have? Because a lot of people, they're praying for more and you're not stewarding what the Lord has already given you. The scripture tells us that when we are faithful over a little, that the Lord will bless us with more. And I think that a lot of times, specifically when it comes to YouTube, there is a lot of vanity around YouTube. I think that a lot of people almost feel like, and I get it, it's a lot of vanity because there's rules to YouTube. Like, remember, like this was years ago, so y'all probably don't even remember this. But does anybody remember on Instagram where if you wanted to put a link in your bio, you had to have at least 10,000 followers? I still to this day believe that that was like one of the most shadiest things that I've ever seen on social media, because it's like, how are people supposed to, grow their business and they can't even be out here putting a link in their bio? Like, what do you mean I can't put a link inside of my bio to bring more people to my platform? And it was literally people that would make jokes about it. Like, they would be shady. Like, I'm not arguing with nobody that can't even put a link in their bio. Like, I remember that was like an ongoing trend, like a ongoing meme that people were literally posting, on social media. Like, I'm not finna argue with nobody that cannot even be out here putting a link in their bio. And even though YouTube is fairly different, like that's not their rule, but they still have a certain set of rules. Like, on YouTube, you cannot be monetized if you are not at a certain place in terms of the watch hours that you have, in terms of the subscribers that you have. On YouTube, you can't even go live right now as we speak. And I say as we speak because they may change this. Right now as we speak, you cannot even go live on YouTube if you don't have at least 50 subscribers. So I get it that with a lot of these platforms, it can feel a little bit intimidating because you're seeing people that's been building for so long and they got 300,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel, or you're even seeing people that, they have 50,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. And it feels like, oh my goodness, here I am with 5 people. Nobody is ever going to listen to me. But I'm here to tell you this. I am here to tell you that if you don't show up, I am here to tell you that if you don't get consistent, I'm here to tell you that them 50,000 people is never coming to subscribe. I'm here to tell you that you don't get to go from 5 subscribers to 5,000 subscribers if you never get consistent and you never show up. Steward what God has given you right now and watch him bless it, watch him increase it, watch him take this thing to the next level. We have to steward what is already in front of us right now at this given moment. I remember with my very first YouTube channel, it felt like I just could not get over the hump of like a few hundred subscribers. I would be like, oh my goodness, I'm just not going to put energy into this. I'm just not doing it. It just feels like, it's just not moving. But that's because YouTube is just not one of those platforms that in many cases, and I say in many cases because I'm not saying that it, can't happen. But YouTube is not one of those platforms where it's just like an overnight, kind of situation. In most cases, like, you definitely have to build. And in order to build, you definitely have to make sure that you are being consistent. And so I remember just feeling like, oh my goodness, I cannot get over this hump of having 400 or 500 subscribers, not taking into consideration that the call was coming from in the house. And I say that the call was coming from the house because we love to be like, oh, I need to revisit my strategy. I don't know what I'm doing. YouTube don't like me. I can't find people on there. They be watching my comment, but they be watching my videos, but they don't be buying nothing. You don't be posting enough. When everything changed for me on my first YouTube channel, like once I got it to a point that it was over 1,000 subscribers, it was when I started getting on there and I was doing lives every single day. It was when people started getting content consistently and I started feeding them. It was when I started being diligent about sharing my content with my email list to get more people to watch it. But it's like, imagine being consistent on YouTube and having a real strategy behind it. You're leveraging shorts, you're leveraging community posts, you're leveraging all different ways to upload content on YouTube. Sometimes you're doing videos, sometimes you're doing live. It's that people want to do a little bit and they want to get a lot. And I know people don't want to hear that, but I'm going to just sit up here and tell y'all that you cannot harvest on what you did not plant. That's just period. You cannot be out here and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna post like 2 videos on my YouTube channel and they finna be lit. Even if there are 2 videos that do really, really well, eventually those videos are going to die down. So what are you going to do next? What are you going to do to keep the people coming? What are you going to do to keep the people engaged? I want to be on a platform where the algorithm is working for me so that I can constantly get in front of new people. And that's another really important thing that I believe that a lot of entrepreneurs look over. Sometimes you get so comfortable in the community that you've already built and you get so excited. Oh, they loyal. They always buying from me. They always supporting. They always doing this and they always doing that. But then you start to see that after a few years, and with me being in business for as long as I have, this is a cycle that I have noticed often in business. You start to see that every few years, sometimes people fall off, and it's not a shady thing. Sometimes it's just that their interests change. Sometimes it's just that they need something else. Like there could be multiple reasons why people fall off. So if you are not feeding, something to constantly get yourself in front of new people, a new set of eyes, then as certain people from your audience start to fall off, as certain people from your audience start to dry up, you're going to be stuck wondering, like, why is nobody buying my stuff anymore? Why does it seem like, I used to be able to convert really well, but all of a sudden I'm not converting anybody? Why does it seem like this strategy is not working when realistically it's not that the strategy is not working? It's simply the fact that you're not utilizing the strategy in the way that you should. We know that we have to show up, but you have to make sure that you show up in a way that you're getting in front of new people and not just the people that have already purchased. I have been super guilty about that in the past, where I just love on my community so much that there's been moments that I've forgotten, like, dang, you've been so busy with people on Zoom that you ain't even done nothing, for people on YouTube. You got a whole community of people over there that they haven't heard any prayer calls. They haven't, like, they don't know anything about this because you haven't posted nothing on there. Like, how are you expecting people to know and you're not stewarding every single aspect of your community? And I think that something else that we have to understand as Christians is we should want to, like, how do I say this? We should almost want to wear it on our sleeve that we are working for the Lord. And because I am working for the Lord, I'm not satisfied if everybody doesn't know what I do. I'm not satisfied if all the people, the millions of people that can benefit from my services, the millions of people that can benefit from my products, I'm not satisfied if those people don't know about me. I'm not satisfied if those people don't know where to find me. And so you have to be diligent about making sure that you are somewhere where people can find you and you're just not out here like, you know what, I'm just going to use this strategy because that's what used to work for me. How much longer do y'all need to be on a platform that is showing you that it is not going to work for you? And again, this is not me shading Instagram. Y'all can go on my Instagram right now and see that I'm still very well active on there. I still post on there. But I have accepted that it's just not going to be what it was, back in 2020. It's just not going to be, what it was even before that, 7, 8 years ago. So we have to make sure that we are committing and we are utilizing a strategy that actually works. So another thing that I just want to talk to you guys about is how well, because y'all have heard me bring this up a couple times where I've talked about how YouTube's algorithm really works for you so that you can work smarter and not harder. But YouTube does such a great job at putting the content in front of you that you want to see. And I've been able to see this even from watching my children, watch YouTube, because YouTube knows what they like. They're going to bring up new shows that are similar. Like, YouTube is really, really great at that. So as long as you're coming to YouTube and your niche is clear and you are consistent, as long as you do like some of the little things, like, of course, you want to make sure that you have like the good thumbnails and, things like that to just kind of elevate, your YouTube channel. Like, that's going to be the way to grow it. That's going to be the way to get it in front of more people. But the biggest piece of all of this is that you have to be consistent. You will never know what is going to work for your YouTube channel if you are not consistent, period. Again, you are never going to know what works for your YouTube channel if you are not consistent. You are never going to be able to use YouTube as a tool where you actually convert lookers into buyers if you are not consistent. So, is anybody ready to be consistent with me over the course of the next 100 days? Is anybody ready to come into the cash flow classroom where we are going to be showing you how you can leverage YouTube every single day for 100 days to see an increase in your profits? The mission is to be seen and to be heard and ultimately to get paid. Keep in mind, you got to be seen first. You got to be heard first. You get seen by showing up. You get heard by consistently showing up, and you get paid by having a strategy that works to actually convert people. So I am excited, you guys, to be holding you guys accountable for these next 100 days to get your YouTube content out there. I am so excited to intercede over your business as you get your YouTube content out there. I'm so excited to give you guys insight into my strategy. I'm going to be in real time sharing what is working for me to build my YouTube channel and to convert people. I am also going to be sharing what is not working, to build and grow my YouTube channel. So I am super excited, you guys, to be on this journey with you guys. Immediately when I get off of here, actually, I don't even have to wait. Let me get it right now. I am going to put the link for you all to register for the cash flow classroom. You guys, it is indeed a special rate if you are going to be joining the cash flow. I keep getting tongue tied when I say that. It is a special rate if you are going to be enrolling in the cash flow classroom today. And I am super excited, you guys, about this. I have learned from so many different programs and things like that I have offered. I have learned that consistency is the thing that is going to win every single time. I have learned that it's hard. I've learned as a marketer that it's hard and nearly impossible to know what works until you start testing things out. I will never forget when I first started getting people like reaching out to me for like email marketing, and they were like trying to hire my agency to help them. And they will always say like, how do you know how to do this? Like, how do you know like what works? Like, how are you able to make it sound like this? And my answer was always the same thing. I've been doing this for a long time, number one. And number two, I have tested to see what works and what doesn't work. We have to have grace for the test. That's a word for somebody right there. We have to have grace for the test. We have to have grace for the test. If you don't have grace for the test, it's going to be hard for you to get out there and figure out what works. And you're going to find yourself constantly on this hamster wheel of doing things that seem like they work because you get a couple sales that day, but then you're going another 3-4 days or sometimes even longer and you're not getting any sales. So this is called the cash flow classroom because people have to understand how important cash flow is to the success of a business. And I feel like that's another thing that we don't talk about enough as Christian entrepreneurs. Sometimes I feel like we have almost like demonized, talking about money because it feels awkward and it shouldn't feel awkward. But I feel like, we have kind of turned it into this awkward thing when we really should not have. And so because of that, it's kind of like oh, well, if this happens and, if it's the Lord's will. But the Bible tells us in the book of Deuteronomy, there shall be no poor among you. So I truly believe that it's the Lord's will for you to be compensated and be compensated abundantly from the business that he has blessed you with. So again, I am so excited to hold you guys accountable. I'm excited to lock in with you guys inside of the cash flow classroom. Click on the link. I am going to pin it. I said I was going to pin it and then I didn't. I'm going to do that now. Click on the link, you guys, and make sure that you register today if you want to register at that discounted investment. You do have options like pay later if that's something that you want to take advantage of. But I am super duper excited, you all. Thank y'all so much for joining in on this live. I pray that y'all are encouraged. I pray that you are excited to be seen and heard so that you can indeed get paid. Have a great rest of the day, you guys.